right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. My name is Jeanie Ward, and I'm so honored to be here on behalf of Unity of Blairsville, a wonderful spiritual community in the North Georgia mountains. It's such an honor and pure delight and joy to be here. And I thank you so much for taking your time to tune in. For those of you who had tuned in a minute ago, I was playing what's called a Koshi chime, and I hope that you were able to enjoy the wonderful, wonderful sounds that were coming from it to kind of set the intention for this morning. Very peaceful and just what we need right now. We're going through a very interesting time. I don't think I need to even tell you that. You already know that. So I'm excited, so excited actually about this talk this morning because of everything that's happening. And even when things may not feel as challenging and intense as they are feeling right now, to talk about spiritual resilience. I almost said resistance. Isn't that interesting? Because sometimes that's what we do. But to talk about spiritual resilience and to shine some light on that, I think is so important. So that's what my talk is going to be focused on this morning. There are other types of resilience, and we can think of those as mental resilience, emotional resilience, physical resilience, and that's often what we think of. Emotional resilience, we hear a lot about emotional intelligence, what's called EQ, and then the mental aspect of, how do we navigate our thoughts as well as our emotions, and then certainly physical resilience. And that's an analogy I think that's very easy to understand. So I will be maybe referencing that a little bit to have a context in which to have a better understanding of resilience and what it really is and what it isn't, and how we can truly access that to help us navigate the ups and downs, a roller coaster ride of life. We can ride the waves with resilience and really create an experience that is really nourishing and empowering as we continue on this journey of expanding consciousness, of awakening to all that we are, of being the best version that we were created to be, and all of those things. What I would like to do to start off is something that I started off with the last time I was here with you, and it's called the Gandhi greeting. It's the Gandhi peace greeting, I believe is what it is. And there are some hand gestures that go along with that. So I would like to share that with you right now to set an intention. Okay? I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source, and I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. So just breathe in those words. And I am so excited again for those of you who are tuning in now and those who will tune in later. Welcome to this Facebook and YouTube live stream. And especially this morning, I have to give a big shout out to Devison Kuhlman, who is the tech guy for Unity of Blairsville, and he will be moving on into other things. And I have been so blessed to get to know this young man, because my tech expertise is something that I'm working on, and I really honor him. And were it not for Devison, I would not be able to do this with you here this morning. So I want to say thank you, Devison. You are a beautiful light in the world, and I am so, so grateful for you. Oh, let's just take a breath right now, okay? Let's just take a breath and set an even deeper intention for our time this morning. And what I would encourage you to do is to give yourself permission just to be right where you are this morning, okay? Just give yourself permission to be right where you are, to be open to this experience this morning with beginner mind, with a freshness and a newness that allows you to receive what is here for you. We are all here by divine appointment this morning. And although I cannot physically see you with my eyes, I see you. I see your beauty. I see your magnificence. I see your light, because I know you. Even when you may feel separate and disconnected, confused, uncertain, frightened, whatever adjective you want to insert there, I see you and I know you, and you're not alone. You're not alone. So together we can co-create this experience this morning. So right now we're going to go into a time of meditation, because one of the things that I wanted to emphasize this morning is to ask ourselves the question, what are we anchored into? That we have that strong foundation, that we have the roots that provide us with the nourishment and the strength and the resilience to weather any storm, to walk down any path, to go into a valley, to scale up a mountain, to ride the waves of the ocean, whatever it may be. What is essential is for us to be very cognizant of where we are anchored, or if we're anchored at all. Do we feel untethered? Do we feel disconnected? To be so present with ourselves, because unless we are aware of where we are or where we are not, how can we change it? How can we make it be any different? So right now, I want to take us into a time of meditation to set an intention for this time this morning. And so I will invite you right now to, if you feel so inclined and comfortable, to close your eyes, leave them open, bring them into a soft gaze, whatever feels right for you right now, to allow yourself to be right here and right now. Just feel your breath breathing you. Imagine that. Your breath is breathing you. You already have that within you. And it knows what to do, because within you is that innate intelligence and divine wisdom to guide you through every moment of your life. So I invite you just to start at the top of your head with an awareness and place your attention there as we just scan throughout the body, beginning at the top of the head, just noticing what's there and breathing into it, focusing our breath there so that we can relax, we can unwind, we can let go. So allow your attention to move from the top of your head down to your forehead, the back of your head, into your eyes. Let your eyes relax. Sometimes we furrow our brow. So just notice where you're holding tension this morning, or whatever may be there. Relax your jaw. Just soften your face. Let your mouth relax. Or the back of your head moving down into your neck. And just feel this wonderful divine energy moving in, around, and through you. This wonderful God breath that is breathing you right now. Moving down even further and to your neck, where it connects and rests into your shoulders. We carry so much tension in our neck and then our shoulders. Sometimes we feel like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can release that now and breathe into it and know that we are not alone, and it's not our job to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. It's to know that we are always sourced and supported by a loving presence. So we carry that attention further down now, from your shoulders into your upper arms, down past your elbows, to your wrists and your hands, all the way to your fingertips. Feeling this breath move in and move out, circulating, pulsating, moving energy, nourishing you. How amazing, how blessed we are. Just notice, feel into it, lean into it. Carrying your attention now, your arms into your trunk, down into your upper chest, your upper back, your mid-back, your abdomen, your low back, your pelvis, your lower belly, moving into that sacral chakra, into the root chakra. Feeling your breath. Unwinding. Releasing. Letting go of all that no longer serves you. Every exhale, just extracting all that is no longer needed, and blessing it as it goes, knowing that it has served you, and now it's time for it to be released. So moving your attention now, following your breath down into the tops of your upper legs, the top and the back, the hamstrings and the quads, moving your attention, following your breath into your knees, front and back, behind your knees, down into your calves and your shins. Breathing intentionally, deeply, gratefully. Grateful for this amazing body. Moving your attention now from your lower legs into your ankles, to the tops of your feet, the soles of your feet, into your toes, all little toes and your big toe, all of those wonderful, beautiful extremities, so divinely created. Just feeling this prana, the chi, move in, around, and through you right now. And as you bring your attention now to the soles of your feet, being aware of what they are contacting beneath you right now, the floor, wherever you may be, I invite you to envision yourself as a beautiful being that you are. Sinking your roots, extending your roots as you feel these wonderful, energetic extensions of you move into the ground of all being. You feel this energy extending further into Mother Earth as your roots find their way and they ease into the soil of substance, of source. Just feel them go deeper and deeper into the core of the earth, into the core of the Christ consciousness, into the Creator, Great Spirit. Feel your roots go deeper and notice as they expand and they spread out. Connecting with all of life, the interconnectedness of all of life, into this wonderful, wonderful web of connection with other energies that are here to uplift and energize and support us and nourish us. A place where we can anchor our roots. Knowing that the foundation upon which we are growing our roots of resilience and growing all that we are is anchored in a foundation that is solid, that is steady, no matter what happens. There is a resiliency always there. And this resiliency already is available for you, that you can grow and develop. So breathe into these wonderful roots as we feel nourished and blessed this morning. Breathe into your belly, breathe into your heart, this beautiful heart space. Breathe into the very core. Drop down below your navel a couple of inches into the very core of your being. And feel this energy continue to pulsate. The rhythm of life, the rhythm of resilience, coursing through every cell and fiber of your being. Connecting, communing with the Creator. Breathe it in now. So bring your attention, just let it travel back up through your physical body. Just let it rise back into this physical expression of such magnificence. Let us rest for a moment in this place of restoration. This place of renewal. Refreshed. Restored. As we remember the truth of who we are and what we are. We are anchored in the absolute, in the divine, in all that is. All that no longer serves us in every way falls away. Breathe in the newness and the nowness of this moment. As we give thanks for this sacred and precious time in silence and stillness, we are restored and we are renewed. And all is well. And so it is. Thank you all so much for participating in that refreshing, renewing meditation. So let's just jump right in here into the pool of resilience, into the river of resilience. And let's get a handle on what resilience is not, okay? Because that will help us to better understand what resilience is. And I think often we think of resilience as something that can expand and come back to its original form. And there are definitions that highlight that. We can think of a rubber band that we can stretch and it can go back into its form. In that regard, there are many examples that I could give you of resilience. But what I want you to know is that resilience is something we can cultivate. We're not necessarily born with it, although my personal belief is that in a sense we are, and that we already have it because we are born of that very essence of life itself that is resilient just by nature. And I think it's dormant to a degree within us, and that we are in moments of challenges and in moments of adversity and going through these difficult times that we're in right now, most especially. But even if we weren't, it's recognizing that we are not exempt from challenges. We are not exempt from life happening. So resilience doesn't mean we will never experience those things. Because I'm a resilient person and I have resilience and I've grown my resilience and I'm anchored in the absolute, I'm anchored in God, and my faith is strong, it does not mean that I will not encounter these experiences. What it means is that I can cultivate a stronger ability to weather these moments and to navigate them in a way that I can have a different experience and know that when I'm feeling frightened, when I'm in a place of anxiety or I'm paralyzed and in fight or flight and whatever I might be looking at, whether it's TV or social media or anything, that I can recognize and remember. And that's the word right there, is the remembrance. Resilience is about remembering the truth of not just who I am, not just my personality or my name or my ego identity, but the what that I am, that I truly am this very essence of all that is. I was created out of that. And I am, as I'm sitting here talking with you this morning, looking at this webcam, to know that I am the expression of the Most High, as are every single one of you. And in that place of remembrance, I can know what I've always known because I'm accessing it from a higher, expanded understanding. And I can learn to grow my resilience in this human form, that as things happen, I can access them. And I've been very mindful and diligent to engage in practices that truly, truly serve me. So the first thing I want you to understand about what resilience is, and basically what I've already said that it is, there are a few things that come along with that. And as I mentioned a minute ago, life's going to happen, and we can say, no, I'm not going to participate. Life's happening and I have no desire to be a participant. And I understand this, I'm going to no longer be on social media. I'm not going to turn on the TV. I'm not going to do any of that. That's cool. That's okay. Because I'm all about you paying attention to what you need to do that's truly going to serve you and nourish you. But what I'm saying is about accepting life on life's terms. There are things that we have no control over, right? You're probably going, oh, I'm really learning that now, Jeanie. Because before I thought, yeah, I pretty much have domain and agency over my life. But we have learned, I know that there are things sometimes that are totally out of our control. Life is going to happen. The question is, and this is a biggie, is life happening to me or is life happening for me? I know you've heard that before. Is life happening to me or is life happening for me? The choice is mine, how I am going to see that and respond to that question. What is my perception? What is my belief around that? Am I embraced? Have I put myself in a place of feeling like a victim? That why me is just spinning and ruminating. Why me? Why is this happening in the world? Why this? Why that? And we get into all that. Why? And when you find yourself in that place, it's really important that you catch yourself and go, oh my goodness, do I even recognize what I'm doing? So you can catch yourself and use the tool of mindfulness, and your observer can be very present with you and very cognizant of what is going on and say, wow, I am feeling like life is happening to me. I'm feeling like a victim. And no matter where I go or what I do, I feel like, again, why me? And to that I say, why not you? Why not me? Why not us? When we remember, as I said a moment ago, the truth of who and what we are here as these amazing beings in this physical body, incarnated in this form, as Jesus incarnated in human form. And yeah, Jesus had an ego. Imagine that. Just like we do. And you're thinking, really? How is that possible, Jeanie? Nobody's exempt. Nobody is exempt from life happening. We can look at the ascended masters, Jesus being one of them. I don't even have to say what Jesus's journey was about for the short amount of time that he was here on the planet. And you can look at Buddha, and you can look at a number of other ascended masters and what they have gone through and where their journey has taken them. It's basically been a road of cultivating resilience, if you really stop and think about it like that for a moment. There's a great quote by Khalil Gibran that says, "Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars." I don't know of many people that have arrived at a place in their life who have not gone through some type of adversity in which they have had the opportunity to be stronger for it, to be wiser for it, to deepen and grow their faith, and to have another way. And that's what it is. It's the way in which we approach things. It's the way in which we respond to things that's going to create the experience that we are going to have. Rumi puts it so beautifully. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you'd ever imagined. We have a tendency in our humanness to live small, to stay small, and to, find ourselves in that place of less than, the unworthiness, am I good enough? All those things that our human ego wants to get us wrapped up in. And, it's okay. We can say, ego, thank you for, being what you are, but I embrace you because I'm learning to embrace the truth of me and knowing that in this human form, I will experience life's journey in a different way, and that the divine is experiencing life through me. And I can allow myself to know that I am greater than I could ever imagine. I am more amazing than I allow myself to know at times. I am more magnificent. Wow. How does that feel to say that I am magnificent? What does that feel like? Because a part of us goes, oh, that sounds egotistical. What I say to you about that is, how could you not be magnificent? Do you hear me? How could you not be magnificent? You are the most divine creation of the Most High. Oh my goodness. And to be anything less than that is saying, oh goodness, was there a mistake made? No, God does not make mistakes. You are more magnificent than you know. Maya Angelou also reminds us, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. That's what I'm saying. The trials, the tribulations, the tough roads sometimes that we find ourselves on are such great opportunities. And we can see them as obstacles that we can learn to, okay, how do I navigate and find my way? Not necessarily over it, although that's okay, because to get over the mountain, we can go over the mountain, how to overcome it, but how to go through a situation, depending on what it is. that we can truly be stronger for it. There's a great quote by a woman named Jada DeWalt. And when I read this last night, I just wanted to share it with you. When we learn how to become resilient, we learn how to embrace the beautifully broad spectrum of the human experience. That's what I was just talking about, the human experience, and how blessed we are to be in it right now, and how we can be the light in the world right now with everything that's going on, that we can develop those muscles of resilience, like our core. I'm pointing to my abdomen right now. I know you can't see that, but that's what I'm pointing to. Because what I want to say to you is it's let me use the analogy of physical fitness, and then we can just kind of go back and forth a little bit. Because in resilience, in spiritual resilience, as in spiritual fitness, we need that solid foundation. That's what I've been talking about already this morning. We need that core, the core, the essence of all that we are. So when you think about it in a physical sense, we have the abdomen, the abdominal muscles that are the core, and we strengthen those. And maybe we do, maybe we don't. But having a strong core is key to so many things for us to move about the physical world in these physical bodies. I was a human massage therapist for 30 years and a fitness trainer, many things in regarding the physical body. I've been through a number of pretty rough injuries throughout my life. In a car accident in 1997, I was whiplash. I was hit from the rear and whiplash accident. I lost the use of my hands for about a year and a half with severe bilateral neuropathy. And it was a very challenging time to figure out how to navigate my life as a massage therapist and such when I did not have the ability to use my hands. And much less deal with all the pain that I was going through and being in physical therapy for a very long time. And even when I came out of the physical therapy, I wasn't in much better shape, maybe a little bit. But I said, okay, I know there's another way. I know there's another way that I can help myself here. What can I do? And at that point in time, I already had anatomy and physiology training from massage school that was very, very good. Very in-depth, very solid foundation in that. And so I thought, I want to become a certified personal trainer because I had always been an athlete early on in my life. So I wanted to combine my knowledge so that I could rehab myself. Get it? We're like kind of always rehabbing ourselves in a way. We're refreshing ourselves, rebooting ourselves, all the words that we could use so that we can continue, to be stronger and more resilient. So I took myself through my own training, if you will. And about a year and a half later, I was finally able to have strong enough movement and the strength and just the ability to, move my hands and to find my way back into what at that point in time I decided was going to be more of a comprehensive body work and energy work rather than just the physical work of massage. So again, as we encounter, what I'm trying to say here by sharing this with you is, as we encounter different experiences in our life, we get to decide which direction we're going to go with it. And I could have said back then, oh, why me? Oh, poor me. And I'm not going to tell you that I didn't, because I did for a while. But then I thought, wow, this isn't going to help me. And I want you to know too, this was before I really, really got immersed into more of the philosophy of life that I am now in spirituality, about neuroplasticity, about expanding consciousness. I was in a very different place. So I was really, learning on my own. And it was important to me to do that. And that's why I'm sharing this with you as well, because right now it's important for you to pay attention to what's happening for you in your life and how each and every one of us is not going to experience our process, if you will, of growing resiliency, of strengthening our faith and fortitude in the same way. Everybody has a different interpretation and understanding of God, creation, life. And in Unity, we see Christ as a Christ consciousness. I've expanded from that for myself personally as more of a spiritual eclectic, more of the universal Christ, the cosmic Christ. It's about that energy, like Jesus's last name isn't Christ. It's the Christ consciousness that Jesus embodied. So using him again as an example to where, one of my favorite Bible quotes, and there's only a few that I really ever use, is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. And I remember learning that early on in more of my religious training in my life. And it was something that always stuck with me. So today, in talking about resilience and asking the question, what are you anchored into? Where are your roots anchored? Where are you growing your resilience from? Or are you? It's recognizing that we are not here to do this alone. And when we find ourselves feeling fearful, separate, panicked, depressed, distressed, all of those things, there's a good chance that we have forgotten what we really are, and that we are the embodiment of the Christ light. We are that. And that kingdom of heaven that I referenced the last time I spoke with you is that Christ consciousness that is within us. It's always there. We are the embodiment of that. So when I say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, I'm saying I, as a conduit, I can do it. I'm a conduit because I can do it. And I open myself up to that. And in that awareness and in that knowing and in my declaration of claiming that for myself, I already feel my muscles getting stronger. Because back to the analogy that I was going to use, I got a little off track there, but I want to come back to this because when you're growing muscles and whatever muscles they are, you have to understand that in order for those muscles to grow, they have to be broken down. So when you do weight training and, you really put the weight on there that's really testing that muscle, or you're strengthening your core in different ways that we can do that, those muscle fibers, those teeny tiny muscle fibers, they're being broken down. Okay. That's why it's kind of like moving up a little bit in, say, weight training or strength training, just like in life. As we move up into the next challenge, we can find ourselves going, oh my goodness, this doesn't feel so good, because in our muscles, we're going to be sore. In our spiritual life, we're going to feel like, I'm feeling a little toxic right now. I'm feeling like I just, ran into a wall. And when you have that feeling, it's about being very clear of what's happening with you. Things need to be broken down in order for them to grow stronger. And my personal belief is that's what's happening out in the world today. I've been saying that for months now. There's so much going on that is so wonderful and fantastic if we choose to look through a lens, right? A lens that allows us to see it differently. And we will do that when we are anchored into the absolute. Like in the meditation, we anchor into that foundation of faith, of understanding, of knowing. So we find ourselves growing those muscles. They get stronger. And like with the core muscles, the abdomen, that we strengthen that core, because everything that we do out here in the periphery is coming from this sense of balance. You know what it feels like when you're walking, and if you're off balance and you try to bring yourself back and realign, it's the same thing when your core is strong, like in yoga. Yoga means union. Okay. So we're coming together. I think of in Pilates, when it focuses on the core. This is like spiritual Pilates, spiritual yoga, spiritual fitness. That's where the resilience is born out of those experiences that you have said, you know what? I'm putting myself through spiritual boot camp. I'm putting myself in this place because I want to be able to handle these experiences when they arise, and to know that I have an option. I can choose to be responsive because I have built up my reservoir of wonderful tools and techniques and strategies. I built up I call it my spiritual escrow, my spiritual bank account, to where when I need those things and I, go out in the world and something bumps up against me, or I get triggered about something, that I can remember, oh, there's more than enough in my spiritual escrow, in my energy reserve, because I have continued to be diligent. I have continued to be faithful to that commitment to myself and to all that I am, to strengthen myself, to grow, to expand, and to know that as I do this, that I am also participating. I am doing my part in the world out there, in the whole, in the oneness of all, that what I do here for me is going to touch and affect each and every one of you. And it's going to raise the set point. It's uplifting this world, this planet, and beyond in a higher vibration and consciousness, because that resilience is able to see us through. And that is critical right now more than ever. We are co-creators. And when we really get that and step into that and stop playing small, amazing things happen. So it's really, leaning into that experience as I'm leaning now, leaning back, leaning forward, leaning whichever way, because I can lean in any direction that I need to, because my core is strong. The thing that I think about, what I wanted to say earlier in terms of recognizing that life's going to happen. Some things we can change and some things we can't. There's the infamous serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Guess what? It doesn't get any more clear than that. Let that be your ongoing prayer, your ongoing mantra, that you are claiming your birthright of knowing that you have all that you need within you. And you can grow what is already there. That's what personal growth, spiritual growth, development, that's what we're here to do, to continue to expand and grow. Like I said, we're going to get sore. We're going to have that fatigue after a workout. We're going to have those experiences in this physical experience in the body. That's what I'm trying to say. In the embodiment, we're going to feel it. Oh, and to know that, what a wonderful indication that we're doing something, that our core is getting stronger, and that we're being true to ourselves. And this leads into the third part of resilience that I was sharing with you this morning, is about the self-care. And I've already been talking about that, actually, developing that core, and knowing that the three things of life's going to happen. That's a thing you need to remember, as I've been talking about. Where am I placing my energy? My focus was the second thing. That's really the third principle in Unity. Where thought goes, energy flows. And I'm going to create my experience. And it's asking myself the question, am I focusing on what is already good in my life? What's already good out in the world? What I focus on is going to expand. So each and every one of us this morning, remember, what we focus on is going to expand. And it only takes the slightest shift to change things. So again, life happens. Where am I placing my focus? And the third thing is the self-care that I've been talking to you about for much longer than I had planned to, but obviously there was a lot that I wanted to share with you this morning that I felt compelled to share, and I want to leave you with a couple of things to think about as I get ready to close right now. The question to continue to ask yourself is, what I am doing helping me or harming me? Okay? And by what I'm doing, I'm talking about in your actions, in your thoughts, your choices, whether it's about, well, I'll just use this as an example. Perhaps there's some forgiveness work that that's calling you. I won't say needs to be done, but it's calling at you. And there's something else that you kind of set aside that you've like, no, I'll get to that later. I'm going to invite you to look at that and say, is it serving me to keep it over there and let it continue to extract from me? Is what I'm doing, thinking, being, my choices, my actions, my words, everything about me, is it helping me or harming me? Is it debilitating me? Is it serving me? What is it doing? Let me get crystal clear with that so I can have an honest self-assessment. That's what this time is also about. This time, what we're going through right now, more than ever in a lifetime for many of us, it is calling us to be clearer than ever before. As for those of you who've been on for a while, to go through the meditation, and I've been talking about anchoring our roots into the absolute, we're being called to get so crystal clear on our BS. No kidding. By that, I mean our belief system. Okay? What is it? And that's why I'm leaving you with this question today, to continue to toss it around, to continue to explore it. What am I doing? Is what I'm doing helping me or harming me? Is it serving me? Because in order for me to be here to fulfill my mission on planet Earth as a soul in this amazing body, in order for me to serve as a clear vessel and channel and to be the voice of love, the voice of peace, the voice of compassion, the voice of acceptance and understanding, and all of those wonderful energies, I need to be clear. I need to be nourished in order to serve in the way that I know I am here to do. So I invite you to serve yourself by paying attention, by saying, I am open and willing today. And even if you're not willing, say, perhaps another way to phrase it might be, sometimes I'm willing, Jeanie, and sometimes I'm not. Well, you could just say, I want to be willing, and ask. Ask and it is given. Ask the universe, ask angels, ask God, your higher power. Show me the way. I am open to receive. I am willing. I want to be willing. And I'm anchored in that. And that is more than enough. And it always will be more than enough. And to know that spiritual resilience is one aspect of all that I am. But to me, spiritual resilience is a foundation upon which to build the emotional, the mental, and the physical resilience. Those 4 pillars offer us a very strong foundation upon which to continue to build up, to expand out into all that we are, so that we have more than enough to serve others, so that we can look at a situation out there in life or something that's happening within our own family or within us, whatever that may be. And we can know that we are not alone. We know that we have a reservoir. We know that we are resilience growing with every intentional breath, and that we are so blessed and we are so honored and we have so much to be grateful for. So the very last thing I invite you to do, I have to throw in one more thing, is for the next month or so, there's great research on this, but I invite you to do it at least for a month, is every day write down 3 things that you're grateful for and focus on those. Write down the good in your life and begin to invest your energy and attention there and see what happens. Are you willing to make that commitment to yourself? What do you truly desire? That will show you what your commitment is. If you want to feel better, feel more relaxed, at peace, trusting that God is in the middle of all things and that all is truly well, no matter what I'm feeling, and that I can go through the human ups and downs and the roller coaster ride. I can do all of that because I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Let the God of your understanding, let your higher power, let that power and presence infuse you now. Breathe into it. Know you are stronger for it. You are wiser for it. To have the faith and fortitude, the clarity and the courage to walk, to fly, to soar, and to know that you are loved and you are never alone. You are resilience, just as you are. Let it grow and let it expand. And let your love light shine. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Shine your light. You are loved. Take care. And so it is.